All right, welcome to the studio. So today let's get working on the modes. So just a preface, modes are always confusing and they, are intimidating for a lot of us, but it's okay. So again, we're just hanging out in the studio. It's just me and you. We're just going to work on the modal sequence today and try to take it one thing at a time. All right. Modes have several different applications. We're just going to work on the idea that modes can help you play a single key signature, actually two key signatures, all the way down the fretboard. All right. So basically, what we're going to do is kind of get a way of communicating the modes down today. And if you follow my video lesson discussions or you're a subscriber to the website, this is going to help you understand how I apply the modes, and hopefully will kind of get you moving across the fretboard and feeling like you've got the whole neck to use no matter what key you're in. So we're going to use G major, and we're just going to talk about how the modes work down the fretboard. Now this works for every major key. It doesn't matter what key you're in. It could be G, A, F sharp, whatever. This works the same, but we're going to use G major because you can see the modes all the way down the fretboard. Okay? All right, so the first mode is also the first scale degree of the G major scale. All right, so G major is also called Ionian mode, and that scale or mode looks like this. Okay, so that's the shape we're going to use. All right, now you can find that shape different places on the internet, and different books will make it look a little different. It doesn't matter as long as you're playing the same notes. Okay, so the first scale degree or the first mode of any major key is always the major key, or the major scale of the key that you're in. Okay, so and we are going to be in a major key. So G major, G Ionian is the first mode. The second mode is based on the second scale degree of the major scale. And in the case of G major, the second is A. All right, second note in the G major scale is A. So that means our second mode is going to be A Dorian. Okay, so Dorian is the second mode of a major key, and in this case it's A. That looks like this. Another side note, A Dorian contains the same notes as G major. There's not one different note in A Dorian than G major. They're just in different, the notes are in different places, okay? All right. Next note in the G major scale, so we've got G, A, and then the next note is B. That's the third scale degree of G major, and that names the next mode, which is B Phrygian. That looks like this. Okay. Fourth scale degree, or the fourth note in G major, is C, and that names the next mode, which is C Lydian. Looks like this. And it's C Lydian and B Phrygian are almost identical. You just move up a half step to the C and play the same shape that you just did in B Phrygian. Looks like this. Okay, same basic mode, but you're starting a half step up. Next scale degree, or the fifth of G, is D. All right, so we're traveling up the scale. Now we're on D, okay? And that names the next mode, which is D Mixolydian, and that looks like this. Okay, now we're really getting somewhere, okay? So you've got D Mixolydian. The next mode is the sixth of G, so we're just going to walk up the scale one more time. Okay, the sixth is E, and that names our Aeolian mode. Now, Aeolian has a special relationship to G in that it is your relative minor, okay? So if you wanted to play in a minor key that uses the same notes as G major, you play E, okay? So E minor G major contain the same notes. All right, Aeolian mode looks like this. We're going to start on the 12th fret, and then we're going to shift back to the open position of the neck here for Locrian. But here is E Aeolian. Okay, now Aeolian, people play that mode different. You can play it like Dorian. It really doesn't matter too much. Just get used to it. Understand what notes are in the mode. Okay, so we have gotten to the 6th mode in G major. Now we've got the last one, and it is F sharp Locrian. So F sharp is the 7th of G. Okay, we're almost to the octave there, so this is the last mode. And instead of playing it all the way down here on the 14th fret, we're going to go back to the 2nd fret, or the lower octave, and play it right here. And it looks a lot like Ionian mode, okay? Looks like this. Okay, so those are the 7 modes of G major. Now remember, a couple interesting points there. Your relative minor is E minor. Okay, so if you see a song in the key of E minor, you can use the modes of G major, and that's what you should use, because they are the same key. They're not the same key, but they contain the same notes. So the difference is the order that the notes live in the scale is they're in a different place. Okay, so that creates a different sound. Now we're going to go over all of these modes because each mode creates its own sound if you use the root as the key that you are in. So for example, if I wanted to play in the key of A Dorian rather than G major, and I was going to play something with a chord that started in A, like this, like an A 13th or something. Okay, now that's an example of playing in the key of A Dorian, but that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about playing exclusively in the key of G major, all the way down the fretboard, with maybe the exception of E minor, okay? So with this lesson discussion, what your mission is to go find some songs in the key of G major and the key of E minor and practice soloing in them, all right, using all of the modes that we just talked about. Now, if you can't find the modes, well, actually, here's what I should say. You need to go subscribe to the website, because I go over all of these modes and all the frets that you need to play on the website. So go do that now if you haven't done it already. All right? And we'll talk about modes more as we go. But again, your mission for this lesson discussion is to understand the modes of G major, where they are on the fretboard, and how to play them. We'll talk about using the axis method, breakout moves, pinpoints, scale overlay. All of those concepts are going to help you understand how to play more of the fretboard than maybe you already do, and understand how to be a little bit more intentional with your playing, whether you're playing chords, whether you're playing solos, or playing both. So have fun, get this down, and practice a lot. We'll see you next time. Thanks for checking out our channel. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and check out our full-length lessons right there at rjsoldaniguitarlessons.com.